if I compromise, my whole brand will flop, and I don't want that. I'm all about authenticity, and I think people are their best when they're authentic, and my brand needs to reflect that. So I will never compromise.
Hi, my name is Courtney, and welcome to How They Scaled It, where scaling is done with both sides of the brain. On this show, we sit down with growth stage businesses and speak with founders and industry leaders from the e-commerce and SaaS sectors. We showcase their journeys, unpacking the pivotal moments, marketing strategies, and key decisions that shaped their success. Today, I'm excited to welcome Cat Lepetit. With over 2 decades of experience in the beauty and wellness industry, Cat has left her mark on some of the world's most iconic brands, serving as a key leader at Unilever and driving strategy as a director of merchandising at Sephora. Now, she's channeling her expertise and creativity as the founder of Sundrunk, a beach and lifestyle brand that's all about peace of mind and high-quality products that are made to last. Sundrunk's clean, eco-conscious products are as thoughtful as they are easy to use, perfectly embodying Kat's passion for life, for living a life that's both kind to people and the planet. Kat, it is such an honor to have you here today. Welcome to How They Scaled It.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure. I can't wait to discuss and chat.
Yes. I want to start with kind of the spark behind Sundrunk. Was there a personal experience or maybe a gap in the market that you saw that you're like, this is what I want to do?
Multiple sparks at the same time. You know, when you say like the storm just happened because so many particles were in my brain at the same time. First, we were out of COVID. It was 3 years out. And I was really wanting to create my own company, but I had no idea what. I was in the beauty industry for 20 plus years, and it was not where I wanted to go. I wanted to be bigger than that. And then one day, because we moved to Florida 3 years ago, one day after a long day at the sandbar, which is very specific to Florida. I never had sandbar before.
What is sandbar? Oh, like a sandbar?
Yeah, it's like a bar of sand in the middle of the ocean. It's so bizarre. It's so awesome because you come by boat and you just enjoy the day. And you stay that all day and you just, drink with friends and enjoy the beautiful transparent water with the manatee coming and the stingray. And it's just, Florida is next level beach. I'm a beach bum. Born and raised in south of France on the beach, and then California for 12 years on the beach. I know beach. Like it's nothing, but Florida is next level. And then I came home that night and I just told my husband, I feel so drunk. Like, I love this feeling. It's just an amazing feeling of being tired. The same symptoms of being drunk, super tired and super happy at the same time. Like your happiness tank is full. Just love that feeling. And then I woke up the day after and I just had a full download. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I had the business plan in mind and I just checked the trademark. I was like, if the trademark is open, it's a sign that it's for me. And I was like, oh my God, I trademarked it on the spot. And then why I expanded to the beach brand, because first of all, I love the beach, but also as a mom of 3 boys, every time I go shop for beach stuff, it's always for surfer dudes or fishermen or old ladies. It's like, there's nothing for me. I'm always like, okay, sounds good. I will buy something for a teenage girl, surfer girl. I never felt like it was talking to me. So I thought, okay, I guess that's my spot. It's the person like me, a mom. A mom who wants to be a little edgy and not fall into the surfer or the fisherman category. Or the old pineapples and flamingo thing. Not my thing.
I love that. I've never thought of I think what I love about this idea is that I immediately know what you're saying when you say sun drunk, when you're like, I was out in the sun all day and then I felt sun drunk. I was like, that is such a unique experience where you're just so relaxed and you feel so good because you have all of that vitamin D's in your system. And so it sounds like you had a sun hangover, which gave you the idea.
Exactly. It's exactly that. But with the happiness feeling attached to the moment.
Just sun hangovers make you feel good and not like crap. So.
I love that you're getting it. And most of my clients, when they read it, or they take it as drunk because they drank too much under the sun, or they get it and they look at me and they're like, oh, I love that feeling. And I'm like, yes, you got it.
So that's really what the brand is trying to encapsulate, is that feeling of feeling so relaxed and good after spending the day in the sun. Not necessarily drinking all day.
No, not at all. That's why I keep telling people there's no alcohol involved in this feeling. It's just the happiness of having on the best day of your life with friends and family, in
Yeah.
a beautiful environment. And so Sundrunk is here to help you do that. Because
Yeah.
I had so many pain points too when I go to the
Mm-hmm.
beach. It's like my bag is so heavy because the towels are super thick and heavy and they dry. It makes hours before they dry. I bring back the beach in my house. Like it's just I had so many pain points. The skincare is toxic. Like I'm gonna address each pain point and make the perfect day at the beach. So
Yeah.
I'm trying.
And so you've had like such a incredible career among like pretty major brands like
Thank you.
Unilever and Sephora. So how did you bring those experience in to kind of shape how you built Sundrunk?
Um, Good question, and it's gonna be a very weird answer, but I try to stay away from everything I learned.
Oh, wow.
I also wanted to create my own company to have to start from scratch and have a beginner mindset.
Yeah.
Because after 20 years of career in Unilever and LVMH and all those amazing huge brands, multi-million brands, and I had tons of budget, tons of people working for me, and it was
Yeah.
always the same thing. Like going from one brand to another, it's still always the same thing.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to start from scratch. I wanted to like start from zero, which that
Mm.
never happened in my whole career because I always
Right.
been in big brands. So I try to erase what I learned and start from zero. And that
Yeah.
was very humbling. Very.
Yeah. I mean, going from
That I'm
huge
out of
budgets.
the zero, now that I'm a little higher than the zero, now I can use everything I know and I learned into my everyday life, how the
Yeah.
P&Ls and every line of the P&L, I know how to fill that
Right.
out and what type of percent I should invest in marketing and this and all that I use for sure now. But at the beginning, there's nothing that could help me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you go from like having major budgets and people working for you to having no budget and you're the only one running the show, you kind of have to almost like forget about it or else it makes you too sad. So you gotta
Exactly.
just
Like, how can
focus
I
on what you're
get to
doing.
that million dollar thing, like from
Yeah,
zero with my
yeah.
funds, which it's even harder. But yeah, it was.
That's so interesting. I mean, I guess, but then as you've grown, you've started to like pull in some of that experience and say, okay, now we're ready to like think
Mhm.
about financials in this way. So that is good that you haven't wasted that time in your career.
But
It is helpful in some way.
it's very helpful now too that I outsource a lot of my work, like the agency for media,
Mhm.
and it served me now. Like I know how
Yeah.
to negotiate, I know what to ask for, I know the ROI, the ROAS, all the I know all that. So that's much easier for me than my peer who are at the same level with their
Yeah.
companies and never had that background. So they have to learn more than I do, which is
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a challenge for a lot of founders is that they're really good at making a product. So they're experts at makeup or skincare or, something like that, but they're not business people. And
Mhm.
so that is running a business is like its own skill set. And so I feel like your experience has brought in that skill set for a lot of founders. It's just that's another thing that you have to learn, which is so exhausting. It's so hard.
That is very
Um,
true. And you have
yeah,
to be very perseverant, a tough role to be an entrepreneur.
it is. It is. But there are also good things, like when you get your first customer, when you get your first big deal. So I'm sure that you had a lot of hurdles at the beginning, but what was it like to get your first?
Well, so it took me a year to launch Sundrunk
Mhm.
between all the products I have to create for it, the website, and all that. And so I decided to launch for the day of the French Revolution, July 14th,
Mhm.
um, as a memento for me to remind
Yeah.
myself that France was born on
Mhm.
Revolution and be different and all that. And my first customer were my neighbors. I did a
Oh.
big party, invited my whole neighborhood, and they were super supportive. They didn't know anything about the brand. I tried to keep it under wrap because
Yeah.
I was scared. I was scared about the reception. I was scared about
Mhm.
people, you know, everybody has an opinion. And so if you
Right.
start asking, you have 10 different opinions and you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? Am I doing?
Yeah.
So I decided not to say anything. And the day of the reveal, it was actually really well received. They loved the story, they loved the name, they loved everything. And that was really nice. I was like, it's a good start. It's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, a nice little safe
Yeah,
safe
exactly.
launch where everyone's going to be a little bit supportive at least, but I love that. I love that you launched on the French Revolution Day. That's It's very nice. And it's also very good timing to launch in the summer with a
In
product
July,
like
yeah,
Sundrunk.
totally. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. As you were getting everything to launch, or even as after you launched and you started kind of working through and starting to promote the brand, what kind of hurdles were you facing? What was like the biggest challenges that you had?
So many. It's like every day you're hit
I
with
know.
something different.
Yeah.
Um, oh, yeah, the biggest hurdle, I mean, that's obvious, is when you launch a brand, you think people know about your brand. And you ended up, I was like, few days with zero sale on my website, and I was like, how come? There's 323 million in this country. How come they don't know about my brand? How come they didn't hear
Right.
about it?
Because you've been so focused on it.
I
Like,
know.
all you've been thinking about for the last, like, year or so is Sundrunk. So you're like, how can other people not know about this?
Exactly. I thought the brand awareness will go faster, and
Yeah.
that was my biggest hurdle. I was like, man, how am I going to compete with the thousands of millions of brands out there?
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
now we're talking. Now we need to invest.
Yeah. So how did you start to kind of build that brand awareness journey?
So just to go back in time, I launched Sundrunk in July 2023,
Hmm.
and we're in early 2025. You remove the 4 months of hurricane disaster, I
Right.
basically have only a year and a half of company under my wings. So how I decided to do it, first of all, I was not in a rush. I'm not here to
Yeah.
make a multi-million deal and sell my company.
Hmm.
I did it because I wanted to learn something new. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to go after my passion. I wanted to learn. I so many other reasons than make millions. So I decided to go slow and learn
Hmm.
every aspect of it. So I decided to. I'm very grassroots and I'm a very client oriented person. I love the experience, the client experience. So
Hmm.
I decided to create my own little booth and
Yeah.
do pop up events everywhere I could. And
Oh,
that's
okay.
how I've been doing that for a year and a half. Every Sunday, every first Saturday of the month, every Tuesday, I'm have a booth in different area of the my community,
Hmm.
and I sell to my clients. And that was the best learning experience ever because
Hmm.
I'm facing clients every day, all the time. I talk to them, I get their feedback, I get their pushback, I get their reaction on every newness, and I can fine tune. And it's so much learning. I loved it. Now that it's been a year and a half, now I'm ready to
Yeah.
expand that with all the learning I know about my clients, and I know
Yeah.
her very well. Now I can expand to online. So that's
Yeah.
the next move of 2025, expansion online.
Yeah, well, it's like you kind of did almost like guerrilla focus groups where you like pulled in, like you can't just go do a focus group, and it's really hard to get a lot of data on people. And a lot of people use like online ads to collect
Mhm.
data about like what their customers like, what kind of messaging they want. But you kind of did a much more direct way
Yeah,
of just like going and talking to people all day, every day, which is a ton of work and so exhausting.
it
But
is.
um, I'm sure that you know your customer better than anyone else in the world right now, huh?
So I think I do, but also I think it's biased because it's my community, so it's very specific to
Hmm.
Florida. It's actually
Yeah.
tons of snowbirds. So they're from Canada, Wisconsin, Ohio, Indiana, like all those cold
Hmm.
weather. So it's also very biased. It's very different. So I'm sure online will bring me a tons of learning too, and I'm excited with who else can I touch.
Yeah, that's amazing. With the event, so these were like farmers markets,
Mhm.
and what other kind of events were you going to? I think that's such
Um,
a I don't hear a lot of DTC brands going to in-person events just around them. So I'm
Because
curious about that.
it's a ton of work, and people
Yeah.
are like, no way, I'm not doing that all day. Like, for
Yeah.
example, at the end of February, I'm doing the big Gasparilla Marathon here in Tampa Bay,
Mm.
and it's
Hmm.
like 50,000 people coming to run. It's
Wow.
going to be humongous, but you have to be there at 6 a.m. So
Yeah.
6 a.m.
Yeah.
to 9 p.m. It's pretty intense, and it's a lot of people, and it's awesome. But I'm a health nut. I'm not a runner, but I'm a health nut, and I do love that type of people, that mindset, and my sun care being super clean really resonate with them. The towels absorb the sweat very well, so it's also great for them. It's very lightweight, compact, so I think it's perfect for that niche. And I did it
Mm-hmm.
last year. It was very successful. So I know also that Health Nut love my brand, and I love that too because it's me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you do have like a focus on like an eco-consciousness and sustainability. So I think that probably really aligns with people who are into health and wellness. So that totally makes sense. Has that been difficult when you're creating your products to make sure that they are eco-conscious and they are sustainable? Because I feel like that's probably a little bit more expensive than, what other brands do.
It is. It is more expensive for sure, and it goes back to I'm not here to make money for now, because I don't want to compromise. And I think if I compromise, my whole brand will flop, and I don't want that. Yeah. I'm all about authenticity, and I think people are their best when they're authentic, and my brand needs to reflect that. So I will never compromise. And yes, it's more expensive. It's harder on the margin, but I know in the long run it will work. When we scale and the numbers will grow, I'm sure it will be much easier in the long run.
Yeah.
But for now, compromising. It's so easy though, because the first year when I create all the products, oh my goodness, you go to China, the price is cut by 4. Easy peasy.
Oh,
it's just insane, and I don't want that.
That's wild. I mean, I guess that's kind of standard. But...
It is crazy when you think about it. Now I understand why everything is made in China. I get it.
Yeah.
I hate it, and I get it.
Yeah. So I think also what's interesting about kind of like your eco-conscious focus and sustainability is that, I mean, you were hit with 2 back-to-back hurricanes, which I know is extremely hard and probably essentially just stopped your business for a couple of months. But I think it also highlights how important what you're doing is, and like it probably even like lights a fire in you to say like, no, Absolutely. This is the right thing to do. Like I can't compromise here because look at what's happening,
Absolutely. There's multiple event that happened in my life where nature is so important to me, and it should be for every single human being on this planet, and I don't understand why. I mean, I as I said, I understand why now, because when you see how cheap it is somewhere else, why would you buy a shirt for $46 instead of... That's a guy. Yesterday I was at a market and the guy said, "Oh my God, your shirts are so expensive. I bought mine at Walmart for $10." Yeah, ask yourself why you bought it for $10. So that's the thing that for me, I don't understand as a human being why we're doing that to ourselves. But those people are not my clients, and I actually don't want them as my client.
Right.
Nope. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, like having a really well-defined like avatar or ideal customer, I think is really healthy for a founder, because then you can let go of kind of all these people who are, because if you're selling to everyone, then you're really selling to no one. So I think just sticking to your guns, and there are obviously compromises that I'm sure you've had to make, but by saying I will not compromise on X, Y, and Z, so sustainability, eco-consciousness, quality, I think it's good to have kind of your boundaries, so then you can compromise on the other stuff that's just not as important.
Yeah, absolutely. You got it. Exactly that.
But you are in a pretty competitive space. You mentioned there's a lot of other brands out there. So you really stand out just by your own designs and obviously your sustainability. But are there other ways that you've kind of carved out a space for Sundrunk to really differentiate and stand out?
It's so outside of the designs that are very us and inspired by the nature, because as I said earlier, Florida is just mind-blowing of insane nature in the water. It's crazy. So yeah, inspired by that. I would say the vibe is very important. Like you belong to the Sundrunk team or crowd, or you want to be in the moment, the present moment, not in the future of anxiety, not in the past of trouble. Like you want to be Sundrunk, and that's you should start to feel that you belong in that group. And all my clients who love Sundrunk, they follow me, and they're like, so they are messaging me all the time of like, oh my God, I went on the cruise and I thought of you, and because there's a connection between people who really enjoy the moment and get it. There's that connection, and I think that's the point of difference. Also, I am not, my number one competitor is a towel company. I'm not going to say the name, but they're a towel company. I'm not a towel company. I'm a vibe company.
Yeah. No, you're truly a lifestyle brand, and I think that Sundrunk, the name itself, it does already feel like a lifestyle. So you're like halfway there, and then it's just about kind of giving that vibe and showing it really consistently.
Yeah.
Has it been hard to develop the branding for it, or has it all kind of come naturally to you?
Um, I put a lot of pressure on myself on the logo because I wanted the logo to
Yeah.
really be the vibe I had in my heart. And
Yeah.
that was hard because I didn't really know how to express what I felt.
Mm-hmm.
So I hired a very cool designer that I found on Instagram actually, and she's awesome. And then I just hired a photographer that I just love the vibe that she does, for normal photo shoot that she does for other people. But she just pulls stuff that I like. I don't know. There's
Yeah.
an angle that I really like about her, but it's not enough, and I'm feeling a little stuck how to express it even more,
Yeah.
and being
Yeah.
different because there's many brands that are beach brands, but
Mm-hmm.
when I look at them, I don't see Sundrunk. So I need to find what is my edge. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm
Well, and
gonna work this year.
I think that that's so important as you go into online, because when you're in person and you're selling at these events, like, you are the brand. So like
Yeah.
your personality, your energy, it comes through very well. And so
Mhm.
you're at the stand, you're talking to people. But when you're online, it's all about the visuals and the consistency. So um, I'm excited for you and your branding journey. I
Yeah,
think
me too.
you're
And I'm very open to any tips and tricks you have and any good recommendation because that's where I'm a salesperson. My whole career was in sales, not in marketing.
yeah.
So that's where I have my biggest learning curve, which is
Yeah.
amazing. And it's very humbling for me because I always, we always butt head with marketing teams
Right.
in sales. And now I'm like, oh my God, I wish you were here with me and
I
helping.
know. I know.
No
I
cool
we
marketing people out there. I love you so much. I mean, for 20 years, I didn't really understand what you were doing. Now I get it.
we always joke that sales and marketing are always at odds with each other for some reason, but I don't know why, because like they should be leaning on each other so much, because
Oh,
sales has all of the information about the customer and marketing is bringing in the customers, so they should be like buddies, but there's always
it's a
kind of this
different
like,
brain.
yeah.
I can tell you because now I have to use both brain, and I'm like,
Yes.
wow, mine is really small on that side. The marketing side is like zero. So it's a muscle that I think people that are in marketing have that brain and that thinking that salespeople don't understand. We're very like
Yeah.
numbers and let's
Right.
learn, let's do this. Oh, marketing is like, let's talk about
Like, we
it.
have to figure out like how it makes you feel and the messaging, and it takes a really long time to convince people of things. And um so I appreciate that on the marketing side, that you're seeing the light now.
Oh my God, I totally see it. Totally. Yeah, culpa to everybody.
As like numbers, speaking of numbers, how are you measuring your own success with Sundrun? Because I know that you weren't like, I have to make money right now, I have to sign a multi-million dollar bill. So are there certain things that make that you feel like, okay, yes, I'm doing this correctly, yes, like the signal tells me that I'm growing correctly? Like, how are you looking at success?
That's such a hard question. I go back to my default mode, which is
Yeah.
sales. Like if
Yeah.
I sell and my sales are increasing little by little every day, every month,
Yeah.
I feel good. That's my signal of you're growing. As long as I'm
Right.
growing and I'm not stagnating, it's all good for me. I go with that for now. But
Yes.
now that I'm gonna start all those ads and all that,
Hmm.
of course, I will follow all the good ROAS and
Yeah.
ROI of all my ads to see if I'm progressing.
Hmm.
But still, I still need to see the sales that goes with it.
Right.
I need to see that
I
sales.
think that's fair, especially since you're self-funded, right?
Yeah,
So
100%.
that, I mean, like, the sales actually are essential to,
Yeah,
surviving.
it's what pays my bills, literally.
Yeah. Do you have any other metrics that you look at, like around following or like repeat sales, so like lifetime value, things like that, that you really care about?
I'm not there yet, to be honest.
Oh,
I know I have to look at that for sure at one point, but my pool is so tiny. I need to get
yeah.
more people to buy, and then if they rebuy, it's awesome.
Right.
Usually, I know because they're so vocal. They let me
Right.
know. I love your product. I'm gonna buy that.
Yeah.
I started to do a live shopping like on
Oh,
a
yeah.
platform called Palm Street, which I really like,
Mhm.
and so you have followers, and I have those clients. They come every single show they show up and they buy more and they buy more. I'm like, but
Wow.
you have everything. And she's like, I don't care. I won't give it to my friend. And they were so into it, and I love it so much.
Yeah. That's so interesting. So you have like a very, very strong
Yeah.
audience right now. So it's
Mhm.
just about expanding. And like what that tells me though is that like you have a proven product. Like the thing that you're making people really, really like because they
Mhm.
get so passionate about,
Yeah.
which is such a good sign going into more online
Mhm.
sales because what the brands that do the best online are the ones that not only have like the flashy ads and everything, but they have to have a quality product or else it'll die out. You have to build like customers that will
True.
buy again and again.
True, true.
So the fact that you already have some that are so passionate is a very good sign.
Yeah, that's very nice. I like that. But I really do think it's also because they feel they belong to
Yes.
something.
Yeah, having a community.
Hmm.
Yeah. So then also as you grow, you kind of have to be careful not to
Hmm.
tarnish that community. Make sure people
Absolutely.
feel like they're part of something small and special.
Hmm. Or we can be big. My
Yeah.
dream would be to have bars and restaurant on the beach and just like
Oh yeah.
go at it, just have fun, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and that's truly a lifestyle brand where,
Yeah,
you're creating a place where someone can live,
yeah,
in a bar, restaurant,
yeah.
whatever it is.
And get some.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love it. Well, when you think about consumer trends, you'll get to the restaurant, you'll get to the bar, but right now you're selling consumer goods. Um, they're constantly changing, especially like in the wellness industry, which you're kind of adjacent to. How do you keep innovating or choosing your products and staying in tune with what your customers want?
So again, I'm a little weird on that front. Um, because I feel like we are at the point we're in 2025 where
Yeah.
we do innovation for the sake of innovation, and I
Yeah.
do not like it. I I agree. I like my iPhone. I like the computer.
Mhm.
Okay, fine. But to go further and further, always pushing for different, and because it has to be different and we have to be different.
Right.
I don't like it. I'm actually kind of the opposite. And that maybe my differentiation is
Mhm.
more go back to the roots, go back to the tradition.
Yeah.
Because, for example, when I wanted to, the pain point of those towel, because when you go to the beach, you need a towel. But I love big towels because I
Mhm.
have a long body. And so I looked into big towels, and there is other towels that are very greenwashing of like,
Mhm.
we recycle water bottles and they're super thin and they're absorbed and. So I looked into it, but
Yeah.
oh my God, it's innovation for the sake of innovation. And it's just for
Mm.
the sake of the story of we are doing the good for the planet, we are recycling 8 bottle, blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, this is so bad for you. We're talking about microplastic. We are ingesting a credit card of microplastic every week, and you're adding
Yeah.
microplastic on your body. No, 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 no. So for me, it's I'm trying to go back to the roots. So the Turkish towels are one of those.
Mhm.
They exist since the 17th century,
Yeah.
and the craftsmanship is there, and it's a
Yeah.
beautiful craftsmanship. I want to go back to that. I want the purest, the simplest form
Yeah.
for you. And same thing for skincare. I think we're going way too crazy. We added so many horrible things in there
Mhm.
just to make it more transparent, less heavy, blah, blah, blah. Well, you go to the beach, you go in the water anyway, so just be careful what you put on your skin because it goes in your bloodstream. So for me,
Mhm.
that's more important. Like, what does it do to a human than the the race for the most innovative things? So
Yeah.
I want to be out of that game, not
Mhm.
interested in that game. I'm actually want to go back in time. I think that was going
Yeah.
to be my differentiator is how I can bring back old tradition that still
Mhm.
work wonders for a day at the beach.
Yeah. Honestly, like I kind of love that. I think innovation is important in a lot of industries,
Mhm.
but there are some things where it's like we cracked it. We figured it out. We figured out the best way to make a towel. It's these
Yeah,
Turkish towels. They figured it out in the
yeah,
17th century. Let's stop. Let's just make them cute.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
let's do fun designs,
Exactly. Instead of
and
producing more plastic that is going to completely deteriorate in the environment, one more thing. I mean, I hate
yeah.
plastic. And to be
And then
honest, I was about to not do sun care again because of the plastic. Every bottle is in the plastic, and I
right.
can't with plastic. Come to my
Yeah.
house.
It is
There's no more plastic in my house.
There's so many other solutions other than plastic that's just so much better. So there's no excuse on plastic anymore, I don't think.
Agreed.
But I also think like when you say, "Hey, we're just going to go to the basics. We're going to figure out what is the best thing that we've already figured out, and like that's what we're going to focus on. It actually is such a relief as a consumer to not have to learn about a new thing and like decide if it's better or not and do the research and be like, no, this thing that they like, it's been working for centuries.
Yeah.
It's been working for so long. Why would it stop working now?
Yeah. The rest
So
is good. It's so good. It's so good. It's working.
yeah, it's like you don't have to think it's okay, we figured it out. I love that actually.
Nice.
But a surprising answer. I feel like most brands really are just like, how do we make the newest version of this thing that everyone will buy? Like, and I think there is a charm to saying we've already made it. We just make the best version of it, you know?
Yeah, and that's something that really drove me crazy when I was in the cosmetic industry. Because you're in that race and everybody's playing the same race. We're all running for the same thing. Every 3 months you need a newness. Every 3 months you need to say something different on a product you had 10 years ago, and you're trying to refresh, and it's so BS to me. I'm so tired of this. I don't want that. I want to think differently, and I think people are probably tired of this thing too. And look, they go to Walmart to buy their stuff. They're tired of new. They want cheap. They want different. I don't know. So
those aren't your customers. I think
want
that's
my
the
niche
thing.
of customer that gets it and are like me, or wants to go back to the basic of the closest to nature, the better.
Yeah. I love that. So if not innovating brand new versions of your products, what are you going to be doing in the next couple of years? How do you see Sundrunk developing over the next 5 to 10 years?
It's a great question. It's a wonderful question that I really need to ask myself. I'm so in the day-to-day. Clearly, I want the experience at one point, the restaurant or the bar or whatever, on the beach. Maybe somewhere else than the US. Who knows? I'm totally open to the universe pointing me in the right direction. I don't know. It can be anything related to enjoying the day with family and friends in the sun, usually near water, because I'm all about the water. But I think the sky is the limit for me, and I don't want to close myself of like, okay, so I'm going to do water bottles, and I'm going to do, the basic thing that I'm thinking right now, because I need to expand my store. I may have a store in 2 months here in Florida.
Nice.
So I'm thinking about how I'm going to make that store look amazing and be so Sundrunk, and so what type of products I need to bring, and what do I need when I go to the beach. And usually that's how I work. It's what do I need? Okay, this. I'm going to go into that. But I want it bigger than that. In 5 years, I hope it's going to be more experiential than just products.
Yeah, well, I love that. I think so. In 5 years, you're a full lifestyle brand that people associate with a lot of different things. Some people might associate it with a location. Maybe some people associate it with a specific product. But I think that those solutions will present themselves as you start going online and you start reaching more people. And I think if you just stay open to any of those possibilities, which it sounds like you are, it'll appear for you.
I think my compass is to not do what everybody's doing. That's my compass.
That's pretty easy because you can see what everyone else is doing, so it's easy to not do that.
I'm just going to follow my guts.
Yeah, I love it.
You never do in business.
Awesome. Well, I do have one last question that I ask everybody. If you could go back to when you were very first starting Sundrunk and give yourself a piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh my God. So because I asked a lot of people before I launched, and people were like, don't do it. That was the advice. Don't do it.
Oh, no.
All the entrepreneurs I asked the questions, and were like, don't do it. And I was scared when everybody was saying that. I was like, why are you telling me that? I'm scared now. And that's why I stopped asking, and I was like, head down. I'm going to do my thing, and I'm not going to ask anymore. But if it was, I think I'm going to stick to what I told myself when I started. Just follow your guts and your passion. Be authentic. And I swear to God, if it's your compass, you will figure it out. Everything is learnable. You have to enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. Don't do it. Because it's a roller coaster. It's a lot of super high and super low. As an entrepreneur, I get now why people were like, don't do it. It's scary sometimes, but as long as you love it, you're going to be successful.
And that aligns so well with the brand vibe too. Is like, this is something that's supposed to be enjoyable and it's supposed to feel good.
Yeah, exactly.
And even the things that are scary should come back around and be worth it, you know?
And they will.
They will. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Where can people find you online?
www.sandrunkworld.com. And same
Sandrunk
thing
World.
for the IG and TikTok and Facebook. It's Sandrunk World. The world of
Amazing.
Sandrunk.
Everyone go check out Sundrunk. Thank you so much for being on the show, Kat.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate
Of course. And thank you everyone at home or on the go for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to subscribe, share with a friend, leave us a review. And if there's anything that you'd like to hear on an upcoming episode, just let us know. And for more insights, please follow us on LinkedIn or visit rightleftagency.com. And we'll be back next time with more stories of success, innovation, marketing strategies to help you grow. See you on the next one.